Happy YDBT Daily. We're coming at you on a Thursday. We're going to be on for an hour. I'm just kind of burnt out, so I'm going to give you an hour show, but I'm going to try to jam pack it like I do your mother. So what we're going to talk about today is that Whipple released their supercharger kit for the Gen, whatever the hell you want to call this, the S650. And we'll talk about that. We'll look at the kit, and we'll talk about why they built the kit the way they built the kit. We're also going to talk about people denying their orders, leaving them at the dealership because they're starting to see what everyone else is starting to see. See, you thought that this car was an anomaly. You thought, well, Steeder's car didn't make that much power. Stang Mode's car ran only 12.3. A 10R made 409. A manual made 430 something, maybe 440, which is not that impressive. That's what my car made, my stock Gen 3 with a tune, because on the same fuel, it ain't going to make that much more of a difference. Through Cat's stock cold air made 440 back in 2019. So this car is heavier and it's not making that much more power. So a lot of people are going, wait a minute. I'm going to pay not only premium money because it's the first one out, but the dealer might have the right to mark it up. Now, two things could happen because people start leaving these cars on the lots after they order them. The price can come down, but you're still going to buy a heavier, slower, yet more powerful. Meaning, yes, it makes a little bit more power if the car gets broken in properly and the fuel is 93 octane, but it will perform worse than all previous generations, guaranteed. And nobody has tuning access except Whipple, but Whipple has tuning access because they have the KISS of Ford, and Ford allows them to play in their sandbox. So we'll talk about it a little bit and make sure that we kind of, show you what's going on, speculate, and tell you why people are leaving their cars on the lot. But before we do that, let's have Mr. Bill O'Reilly say hi to the people here. Blech.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
That's right. The Mustang does suck. Sorry. Let's get after it. 2 Auto Solutions. Ryan means that on 2 Auto Solutions Puerto Rico. Build trucks, Vipers, Corvettes, Camaros, you name it, he builds it. 2 Auto Solutions. Race Motive had a race last weekend. They're going to have another one, a couple more, I think, by the end of the year. Check them out. Race Motive on Instagram. DNA High Performance paid their bill, and I love when a sponsor pays his bill. Thank you very much, DNA High Performance. Parts Farm, PartsFarm.com. Boss Motors, Voodoo Motors, Predators, Rolling Chassis, Hoods, salvage cars, you name it, they got it. Conformance, Conformance.com. Nelson Racing Engines, new cold airs, new throttle bodies, tensioners. Check them out. Conformance on Instagram. Ultimate Header, UltimateHeader.com. Ultimate Header on Instagram. Ultimate Header. PMAS, Nick James and PMAS sent me a 149 housing. Badass. Thank you very much. And Calimer Transmission, CalimerTransmission.com. Calimer is now building automatics. He's doing in-house work. He will rebuild your transmission. You ship the car to him, and he will build your transmission. Say hi to the people real quick. Andy Ali. Oh, my Lord. Why did it not populate? Copy. Live chat. Control V. Oh, just like I do with tuning. Control V nonstop. We got Coyote Free and Andy Ali, D-Rock Fox, Joe Swish, 2000 MCR, TJ Skorsky, done. Just your average security man says, is this true? Travis, Robo-Style, Rafa, Monty 540, YouTube Corp, and Free Speech, one of the mods, 94 GT Vert, Gray Mustang, The Wolf, Carter's TV, just your average security again. Travis, Darren Harper, late model comment section on the Whipple video is golden. Just your average security again. James Williams, it's man, Monty 540, JD Swag, one of the other mods. Michael Locks, Andy Black Betty, Zay Snipes, D-Rock Fox, Pito, Chiquito, 8 Doms, Mocky Mock, SOL, Aggressively Average, Nixon Tarpia, Aggressively Average again, Douche Did It, Dustin Garrison, Dalton Dale, Ezekiel Palacios, Kyle SVT, Matthew Benoit, or Benoit, Howell, Race for D4 Doomed, holy shit, Ed's Car, Matthew Benoit, David DeVille, Clean 93 GT, Bryson Witt, Whipple, TRD Ricky, Tyson Phelps, London Cop, Granny Macchiato, Sonic Blue, Texas, Cajun, Mr. King, London, thank you for the money, Dixon 225, Redbird, Billy Guns, Party El Marty, Mofler, Hatch, Whippled, Rican, Party El Marty again, Kenneth, and Dr. YouTube. Okay, let's get after it. This is the Whipple kit right here. This is it. They released it. There it is. James Pritchard on Facebook made me laugh so hard because I saw this picture up there. I didn't do this. James Pritchard did. And I thought, You know, I never even thought about it. Why have two cold airs and one? Why have two cold airs at all? Now, this is my thought process. Ford gives you a sandbox, and you have to play in that sandbox. You can't deviate from the sandbox. So Whipple has to go, well, our supercharger is designed like this. The head unit might be similar. They went from an elliptical throttle body to a round throttle body, a la GT500 and Edelbrock. Interesting. And they decided to keep both cold airs. Both MAF sensors are there, and it is rumored that the MAF sensors are responsible for, wait for it, throttle angle. So, if you have to have a carbon trap, it looks like this one is smaller, dude. Or is this a kind of optical illusion that this housing is smaller than this housing? Interesting. Anyway, you have to play in Ford's sandbox. You have to be emissions compliant. They're not going to give you full reign of the calibration and say, do whatever the hell you want, offer the whatever the hell you want. No, they have to work within the confines of the CARB EO. They have to pass emission standards, and whatever diameters or angles Ford gives Whipple or whoever is going to mess with this stuff, they have to make something like that work. Does it look ridiculous? Absolutely. Is it Whipple's fault? No, it's Ford's fault. Ford is giving you a shit sandwich and you're going to have to eat it, because in their mind, they're like, it's the only sandwich left. So we're going to give you a shit sandwich. Now, what I think should happen is everybody should stop buying this car. That will show Ford that the sales are shit because people don't have any confidence that you're giving them what they want. Now, if it does sell extremely well, fine. Ford is simply going to go, people like heavy, slower, yet more powerful cars with a bunch of doohickeys, drift sticks, flames, burble popping, and tablets on the dash that resemble Fox body stuff. Fine. Don't get mad if in 2025 they continue with the same bullshit. How do we change the trajectory of what's happening with Ford? We stop buying them. And the reason I say that is because 2 posts today showed me that people are saying, no, thank you. I ordered the car and I am not going to pick it up. Joel Soto, I will not be taking delivery of my Mustang. If anyone is interested, it is available at Hacienda Ford in Edinburgh, Texas. This post I put up, a guy named Rob Mentor, I guess he's a sales guy. Our first 24 GT customer order possibly backing out, and he updated it, and he is backing out. He said, don't know Monday. So now 2 people on 2 separate posts, days after the car is slated to be sold everywhere, people are saying, you know what? I'm seeing what Steed is doing. I'm seeing what Late Model is doing. I'm seeing what Justin Dugan did at American Muscle. I'm not impressed with this car. It's heavier, slower, maybe more powerful, but it is heavier and slower. I don't care about the gimmicks at the end of the day. And then maybe the coup de grace, the nail in the coffin, was the Whipple kit. A lot of people like the Whipple kit because of its looks. When you put it on a Gen 3 or Gen 2 or Gen 1 and you see how it necks down with a big elliptical throttle body and one big 123 millimeter cold air with a closed airbox, you go, this thing looks mean. Then they say, this is going to be the kit going forward. And people go, what the fuck? Now, a lot of people are equating this to the GTR throttle body stuff. And I go, guys, it's not even the same thing. It's not even in the same planet. It's not even the same solar system. The GTR has a throttle body on different banks. On the complete left side, one throttle body. On the complete right side, a completely different throttle body. The Mustang has both of them in the front, right next to each other. This isn't an Infinity design that you Nissan guys or Nissan or Infinity guys that are used to. GTRs have them in separate banks. The Mustang has literally them next to each other in the same spot, occupying the same space. This is almost like an afterthought. Well, we put a carbon trap in here because we needed to pass inspection or emissions, and we're not able to get the flow into the manifold. What should we do? Bigger throttle body? No, fuck that. Let's stick a complete different throttle body in the sucker, and it'll make up for the flow that the carbon traps are taking out. Then people are taking out the carbon traps, and they're gaining a whopping 4 to 6 horsepower. Blowing my mind. So that tells me the Whipple calibration has to have carbon traps too. And maybe the fact that it has 2 cold airs makes up for the lack of flow that would have been there if no carbon trap was there like on the previous generation. So please stop saying the 300Z had 2 throttle bodies. This is not a big deal. This is totally different. They're occupying the same space. They're right in the front. It looks so stupid. So they started releasing stuff. Now, this is my gripe with this. If the Whipple kit produces in a manual, let's talk manual, because drivetrain loss is hard to calculate with a 10R80 versus a 6R80. The 6R80, my 6R80 made 380 rear wheel horsepower, and the car ran 11.2 at 121. So the power output didn't really equal what the performance was. So maybe, who knows? On a manual, it's pretty consistent. So take a guess, guys. In 2015, when the Roush Phase 2 came out, Phase 2 is an 80 millimeter pulley and a LU47 injector with a 110 millimeter cold air. How much power on a manual did a 2.3 liter blower make with on a Gen 2 Mustang? Gen 2 Mustang, catalytic converters, LU47 injector, 80 millimeter pulley, 110 millimeter cold air. How much power did those cars make? Well, luckily, we have it right here. I did a bit of Googling, and I found 3 separate videos where in 2015, when the car came out and was tunable right away, these cars were making over 600 rear wheel horsepower. 2015, Roush Stage 3, Roush Phase 2, Stage 3, Race Proven Motorsport, dynoed 1 at 613. Then we had Adam Lentz, made way too much. I think this dyno was happy. But 566 torque, 661 horsepower. I think that dyno was happy. Supposedly, it was a Roush Stage 2 with a Roush tune right here, with a Roush tune. And this car ended up making, I believe, 615 also. Let's see, 625 rear wheel horsepower. LU47s, 80 millimeter pulley, 110 millimeter cold air in 2015. So now, where are we now? 2023 with the new 24 Mustang out there with a Whipple kit. How much power do you think it's going to make through a manual? 650? It needs to make 700 and up in order for it to make up for the fact that it is heavier. That's right. A 2024 Mustang that weighs 4,100 pounds or 4,050 pounds and it makes 650 or 680 to the rear wheel. There's a lot of video of you guys seeing an engine dyno. Remember, engine dynos measure horsepower by the asshole. Way back there. Rear wheel horsepower is the true tell. So if it doesn't make 700 emissions legal rear wheel horsepower, it's no better than a 2015 Roush Phase 2 Stage 3 kit on an LU47 injector. That's my whole gripe. See, a lot of people think I'm just hating. We haven't progressed. So if people stop picking up these cars that pre-ordered and just let them sit on the lot and let the prices come down to something reasonable, I would say, okay, that's not a bad price. If it's in the 40s or let's say high 40s, but $50,000 for a performance package GT that is heavier and slower than the previous generation, and it is not tunable. Everyone goes, Whipple tuned it. Whipple uses the Ford sandbox to play in, and their guidelines are what Ford makes them. They don't make their own. Oh, we're just gonna go out of our. No. If they did, they would have a 132 millimeter throttle body and a 123 millimeter cold air. But no, they probably have to have the 2 MAFs be active all the time. Probably has carbon traps in there, and it flows enough with the 2 weird looking cold airs. So a lot of people that love the Whipple kit, how it looks, now sees this and goes, this is terrible. And they are dragging the kit looks and appearance in the LMR thread. We'll talk about it. What do you think? What'd you see? You see my posts. You see what's happening. And I hope that I am the main driver of this skepticism. Gone are the days where people just bow down to Ford and say, thank you for giving us something. No, it's not good enough. You can't give us something that's worse than the previous generation. We'll talk about it. We'll go from there. Someone says, just wait till Cletus buy one. What happened to the days with real engine bay space to do work? My lord. A carbon trap that's filtering fresh air should tell you all you need to know about emissions laws. Exactly. No, it's not filtering fresh air. You understand, Cody McGill? When the car gets shut off, there is emissions from the injectors and the combustion chamber that slowly bleeds out of the cold air, out of the throttle body, out of the cold air. The carbon trap, in theory, is there to capture some of those. It makes no sense to filter, then carbon fill the air to get it into the combustion chamber. It makes no sense. It's when you shut the car off and the emissions and the fumes ooze back out of the motor, the carbon trap supposedly is there to mess around. Yeah, 727 at the crank. So these Roush cars in 2015 were tunable right off the rip. We're making 600 plus horsepower right off the rip. So why would anyone be impressed if the 24 Mustang makes 650, 660? It needs to make 700 to make up for the weight. So I'm not going to sit there and rah forward until that thing makes serious power. And even if it makes serious power, how much is the kit? $12,000? And it is not tunable by anybody else, right? It is locked. You can't open it up. HP Tuners doesn't have it indexed. SET doesn't have it indexed. Nobody has it indexed. So that's going to be an interesting thing to look at. It's going to be exactly like the F-150. Remember when the F-150 came out? And I told you guys 2 years before tuning comes out. Now, I'm hoping that because the 21 F-150 has already been unlocked, I'm hoping that they learned enough with that infrastructure to maybe unlock the 24 Mustang sooner. But guys, it's out and it's not tunable, where every other generation Coyote was tunable right off the rip. So I should wait until the price drops, then swap a Gen 3 for an additional $45,000. The Dun Blue posted a video of a Gen 4 Coyote with a Whipple engine dyno, and it was making a little over 600 horsepower at around 6,500 RPMs. Oh my God, Brandon Mitchell. Salesmen are making TikToks and Reels showcase this car. Should tell you everything you need to know that Ford knows it's a dud. Look, there has to be a moment of panic. And just like with Bud Light, look, once Dylan Mulvaney was some idiot in marketing, made a Bud Light case or can with his face on it, and he is a weird, transy, weird dude, and he kind of caters to kids, people revolted, and they stopped buying the product. And it made me go, there we go, a grassroots effort, hey, El Truviate, a grassroots effort to tell Bud Light, stick it up your ass. I don't want anything to do with your product. Well, now people are going, I don't think I'm down with a heavier, slower car that is a refresh of the previous generation body. I'll forego the dashes and the drift stick if I'm not into drifting and tech. If I'm into performance, I'm going to stick with a Mach 1, GT350, or even the previous generation performance package PP2 Mustang GT. Tuning is vetted, done. You can make 1,000 tomorrow. So if the people tell Ford, stick it where the sun don't shine with this new car, and sales are lackluster, the next model year, they might do something about it if they're not totally stupid. For what it's worth, Lethal T's dyno numbers on their site said it makes 800 on 12 PSI on the 3.75 pulley it comes with. At the flywheel. Remember the Roush packages? They were $747. Remember? No, sorry. Roush 727 package. 727 package. Or something like that. Roush. Yeah. Phase 2 727 package. Remember that? Remember how none of them made 727? Because they're measuring flywheel behind the asshole power. Right here on their website. 15 to 17 Roush Mustang Supercharger Phase 2 727 calibrated $8,200. This bitch makes 727 at the crank. So at the wheels, it made 615 to 620. So let's say they claim 800. So the thing makes 650, 660 at the wheel, or maybe 670. The car needs to make well over 700 at 50, 4,050 pounds for it to keep up with a previous generation car that cost probably $25,000 less. I'm blown away by that. Not when even the ball washers are not impressed. Carbon trap not there to catch PCV fumes after the motor is shut off. Correct. That's what I think anyway. I'm just speculating. But did the 21 F-150 have carbon traps? I'd imagine it'd be a different ECM. You're right. The 21 F-150 had a single throttle body, single speed density map sensor, and an IAT sensor. The Mustang has twin mass airflow sensors that supposedly dictate the throttle angle based on airflow. What the hell are you doing? Why reinvent the wheel? Look, it might have to do with stuff that I'm not aware of and I'm not privy to, obviously, because I don't have the kiss of Ford. But I'm going to do my best to let people know that this thing's a dud and there's no reason to buy it until Ford gets their head out of their ass and say, we're sorry, we fucked up, we made it too heavy and not powerful enough. The 2024 model refresh will have another 30 horsepower, 530 horsepower in the Dark Horse and 510 horsepower in the GT. Okay, now we're talking. We go, okay, it's a little heavier, but if those performance numbers, because people are taking these cars to the track and they're running 12.6, 12.3, 12.4. And people are saying, what's wrong with this car? People that I despise and hate and are stupid are actually coming around and saying, hey, Houston, we got a problem here. This car is not performing. Ford, this car is not performing. A lot of you guys are blaming it on 87 octane, 87 octane. Boy, are you stupid? When you buy a Mustang GT, you stay on the tank of gas that it came out with the dealership? I didn't. The moment I bought my car, I ran it dry and put 93 in that bitch, and it never saw anything under 93 for the rest of its life. So stop saying that it's the 87 octane in the tank. Please, please, please stop that shit. Whipple 50 says that trans with more than 700 will say bye-bye. Now, horsepower is one thing, but the amount of torque reduction, guys, show me a Whipple calibration. No offense to Whipple. They have to stay within the confines of emissions and Ford and warranty. Show me a Whipple supercharged Mustang that is Whipple tuned that runs an impressive number. Go. They're like an 11.2 car, 11.3 car. The F-150s were like 11.7, 11.4. If some of them went 10s, it must have been on like dead of winter, 0 degrees outside and gutted. They have heavy torque reduction because they're not going to slam the shifts real hard. They're not going to be really aggressive with timing. And they have to have catalytic converter protection in place, going richer after a certain inferred flange temp. So the moment you went from a Whipple tune to a custom aftermarket tune, disabling the torque reduction, making sure the throttle stays wide open, and seeing a custom spark curve, boom, you get 30 or 40 rear wheel horsepower gains with the same tune. So stop rah-rahing until this thing gets out there and runs a number. A guy on YouTube took the carbon traps out and it picked up 16 wheel horsepower on the dyno. Bullshit. There's no way. I'm sorry. It's not a repeatable test. 16 rear wheel horsepower. Did he have the ends open? Did he take the filters off? Let me guess. He took the carbon traps off and the filters off. Let the car cool down, and on a glory run, it went an extra 16. Was it repeatable? Did he do 3 runs carbon trap in, then 3 runs back-to-back carbon trap out? That's scientific. A glory run is not going to do it. To get the Whipple to whine, you let the MAF dangle in the intake tubes. Oh, that kid, bro. Makes sense, I guess. Do you think you'll ever see an ECM update by Ford squeezing a few more horsepower due to the complaint and poor sales? No. Everything I have heard about this Mustang is that it is ragged out from the factory. Guys, if you have a bone stock Mustang and you're expecting a power gain with a tune only, I'm sorry, you are very mistaken. If the car is seeing 26, 27 degrees of timing on sweet 93 octane and you get a Lund tune, it's not going to make one motherfucking horsepower. Not one motherfucking horsepower. Where is it? Oh no. Not one motherfucker. It's going to perform better. The torque reduction is removed, the rev limiter is raised, and it has adjustable adaptive octane logic. So if you have sweeter fuel to make more power, but on its own, the tune is not going to make 1 more horsepower. So let's say the knock sensors in the 2024 Mustang are giving the car 26 degrees. What do you think a tuner is going to do? Shove 30 in at 12-to-1 compression on pump gas? Then knock sensors will be knocking. Do I have knocking? Knocking. I don't have door knock, do I? Diarrhea, stupid to this day. Heavy duty, alpaca. No, I don't have the door knocking. I thought I had the door knocking, but you know, it can eventually just blow up if you give it too much timing. So don't expect the calibration change to all of a sudden add a bunch of power. It's just not it. It picked up 6, not 16. I don't know what that dude's smoking. Thank you. On a dyno, back-to-back runs will yield a 3 to 4 horsepower difference. Meaning, one run it can make 420, the next run it can make 425. Same tune, same condition, same everything. So a 3 to 4 horsepower variable to me is nothing. It's like within tolerance. When you're at 6 horsepower, you're 2 horsepower really over. So don't tell me that the carbon traps add 16 horsepower. Some crack smoke in there. I'd rather get a GT500 on just a tune to get over 800 horsepower. Someone says, spot it out, Alex. Spot it out. Did you see the video of the stock for stock Gen 3 versus Gen 4? Both 10-speed roll racing. The Gen 3 won by entire car length. Yes! And the copium was so hardcore on the post. Oh, but the car's tuned. Oh, but the car... Supposedly, the car had a stock cold air, and let's say it had a tune, versus a stock, more powerful, supposedly, car. And it got beat by over a car. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. You think Ford is saving the power for the Cobra? I don't know. Look, Ford, you're going to be blown away by this. You might have to stick a 6.8 Godzilla Jr. in there at this point. Because if you got to stick 2 MAF sensors, 2 carbon traps, two throttle bodies on a Coyote, because you have to make it emissions legal, can you get away with more displacement? I don't know. I don't know how that works, but I am blown away that you cannot make more than 500 horsepower. Why did you stick a 5.2 in it? Listen to this. I'm going to show you something that is going to enrage you. I'm going to email it to myself, and I'm going to show you, and you're going to be like, why the hell didn't Ford do this? Jacob from Power by the Hour sent me something, and I went, why didn't they do that? So, let's go to Ford Performance. Oh, Jesus. FordPerformanceParts.com. Oh, my God. FordPerformanceParts.com. They listed here. Oh, my Lord. Ford Performance. Oh, what the hell? Let's just go Ford Performance. Ford Performance. We're going to go to the engines, crate engines. We're going to look at a short block, guys. What do you think it's going to be? What do you think? Let me go here. Let's go back here. Let's go to crate engines. Let's navigate together, because, you know, this is one of those things that will enrage you. So we're going to go Coyote 7.3 race the Coyote. And I think there's a short block in here that Jake told me about. EcoBoost. What the fuck? Let me see. Is there a part number? M-6009-A52XS. 5.2 liter Illuminator XS short block. Ford Performance is blah, blah, blah. Short block from the SX engine. 5.2 liter. 12-to-1 compression cross-plane Coyote crank. Manly pistons. Manly H-beam connecting rods. Forged steel cross-plane crankshaft. Shelby GT500 block. Billet steel georotor oil pump gear set. High RPM pulse ring. Ford could have given you a 5.2 liter, 12-to-1 compression Predator block in this motherfucker. Nah. So part number M-6009-A52XS short block. Put a set of 350 heads in it. Put a custom set of cams in that bitch. And make 560 or 580 horsepower or more with ethanol. Blown away that Ford didn't do that, because this car is $70,000 on a dark horse and $55,000+ on a GT. Mind blown. Thank you, JD Swag. Why didn't they put that in there? Hey, Ford, you're going to have a Billy Badass car? Yep. Why doesn't it have a Billy Badass motor in it? Well, it does have two throttle bodies and 2 cold airs, but you know that the dealer was going to fuck you on it. Why didn't you make a splash and say, we went all in and we're going to produce excess short block. We're going to give you 12-to-1 compression cross-plane shit. But then they'd have to give you GT350 cylinder heads and delete the DI. Blown away. But Alex, it's not about racing performance. It's about the tech performance. Arturo, what's up, bro? Ford's a dud now. They didn't do it because they targeted audience wanted screens instead. Why do you keep saying, here's the video? I don't see anything. What are some things that can make you a better driver? Get the fuck out of here with this Herf money. Are you at Mustang Week asking these questions? No one's unlocked the 22 GT500 DCT either. No one's unlocked the 2020 DCT. Trimaker's not going to give you access. But anyway, there is a cross-plane 5.2 Predator 12-to-1 compression motor out there in the wild. Get mad. Get mad. And stop buying this and force Ford's hand. You won't. You fucking cloud chasers won't. You cloud chasers and sons of bitches are going to gut it and go first to 11s, first to 10s to get the clout. Stupid. The clout car. Look, I'm mad at Ford because I'm a Ford fan. If I was a ball washer and I was just like, whatever, Ford, you did your best. You know, you at least were the last one around to have a V8. Corvettes are a thing. If you're pricing dark horses in Corvette range, I might get a Corvette. And now that it's tunable, stick a Magnuson 2.3 in it and be done. 800 horsepower, Grand Sport or whatever the fuck. Go 10.2, pump gas. I'm blown away. Blown away that this is happening. Alex, I need 85 in nitrous. Would I still need to remove the timing as the same as pump gas? Yes. Unless it's like 100 shot. 100 shot or 75 shot, no higher than 28 degrees. But if you're going to be 150, I'd stick it down to 25 or so, 24. This is what happens when the millennials and Gen Z build a car. Look, I don't think Gen Z built this car. Ford built this car. They might have had suggestions from Gen Z and Gen X and millennials. But at the end of the day, they had to make a choice. And they said, we're only going to give it 20 more horsepower than the previous generation. So you can tout the fact that it's the most powerful Coyote ever. But if you were so stupid to think that people were not going to notice the weight and the lack of performance, guys, I didn't have to say anything. The performance could have spoken for itself. What would have happened if I didn't tell you this car's a dud before it came out? You guys would have been like, you couldn't wait to, like, I guarantee there's people out there that were saying, I can't wait to rub it in Alex's face when the car comes out and it is nasty. And then it is what we thought they were. Heavier, not that much more powerful. Once I started hearing less than 500 horsepower, I go, the car better weigh 3,800 pounds. Because the current generation, 18 to 23 Gen 3 are like in the 3,800 range. If it's a base, my base performance package GT was 38 something. Now this base package performance GT is 4,050 or high 3,900s, 150 pounds heavier. And you're only going to give it 20 horse to push the extra 150 pounds? Bro, come on. Stop it. Amazing vehicle. I've seen a kid go 8.4 in the quarter mile with a drag pack 2 and then pulley. Who's going to be the first person to drink the dark horse wine when they're dark horse? Bro, this is such a dud. And we made fun of the name. We saw the debut. And I started saying, okay, 500 horsepower is not enough if the car's going to weigh another 100 pounds. I'm going to go back and probably look over that video that we did together, the reveal of the dark horse, to see what I said at the time. Because when they said 500 horsepower, I'm thinking, well, how much does it weigh? And a lot of people don't even take that into account. You got to take that into account. Again, guys, we got 533 people watching. Super chats are a thing. Become a member. That's the way to support the channel. And like the show. I got 189 likes, 533 people watching. Just click the like button if you like what's going on. If you don't like what's going on, why are you here? My wife brought home some Dark Horse Pinot Grigio last night. Was about as good as the car. 520 people watching, less than 150 likes. Thank you. Ford needs to hang out with Dodge more and take down some notes. Dodge has people getting their coochie wet. Dodge has people talking about getting their ass eating, they're eating ass and getting fucked in the back. They're getting fucked from the back. Boy, this is loud as shit. He stick that pipe in? Oh.
Bitch, I'm busting jugs in the Hellcat, in the backseat, getting fucked from the back.
No, but Ford gives you a 480 horsepower, 4,100 pound car, or high 3,000 pound car. Dodge did it right. Dodge did it right. They go, this is going to be heavy. Man, they're gonna be heavy as fuck. They're gonna be.
I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy.
But that thing finna do burnouts no problem, because it got 750 plus horsepower. And you bees like, what? I'm like, yeah. That thing will do the dash and get the coochie leaking, bro. Nitrous and bias didn't say a goddamn thing. My favorite type of question. Thank you for the money. So the Dark, someone said turn it up. Do I mean to turn it way the hell up? So the Dark Horse is competing with the Scat Pack. You're going to start seeing Dodge guys aim for the new Mustangs. Because Dodge guys, depending on the trim level of the vehicle, couldn't fuck with the Gen 3 Mustangs, especially 10R80. They were about a car or two behind. Now they're going to go, man, we're finna slide on 95 and do the dash. Because that's his S650. That bit of dud.
Hellcats and track hoes.
That bit of dud. Bro, we're gonna get up in them guts. Bro, that Bill Dog, get after. That's my black guy accent. Obviously I don't have a lot of ghetto friends. Change stock setting from the 6 to 10 and went 20% in the rear tire. Car feels a lot better now. There you go. There you go. You're welcome. You know it's over when the Mustang is almost the same weight as the Hellcat and half the power. I'm about to go to Popeyes for the experience. Go out there. S650 owners. You are now targeted by cars that the Gen 3 used to beat easily. Scat back the fuck out of here, man. I ain't gonna waste my time on that shit. Fuck, get out. Man, get out of here. Go slide. Go do a slideshow somewhere. Go roll up on an op or something. Now you got S650. You're like, I'm the op. Fuck. I paid $70,000 to be the op. Pookie be like, bro, let's slide on homeboy. That's the slow one. They still ain't tuning them. Do you know what I am saying? I do know what you are saying. Currently driving my 18-wheeler and listening to the stream. The new 2024 Mustang is heavy duty. Do I have heavy duty? Do I have heavy duty? Where's heavy duty? Not that guy. Kawhi, diarrhea. This is the 24 Mustang.
Oh yeah. Heavy duty. Heavy duty.
Heavy duty.
Oh yeah. Heavy duty.
That's right. Heavy duty. I thought the C8 was disappointing, but then came the Dark Horse. 11 should be the standard on these cars. The C8 Corvette can go 11s stock. The C8 Corvette is about the same price as a Dark Horse. The C8 Corvette is now tunable via Global B. It took 2 years, but it is now tunable. So you got $70,000 burning a hole in your pocket. And you're like, God damn it, I gotta spend this shit. Do you buy an untunable Dark Horse or with a Whipple kit that looks like the conjoined twins? Or do you get a C8 lighter, rear engine, DCT, better handling, tunable, literally sports car, like the pinnacle of affordable sports car from a completely different brand? I'm going to get the dark horse and hope that Ford figures it out. I'm going to get the dark horse and hope Ford gives me a calibration update. Oh, well, good luck with that. A guy at work asked me what I thought about the S650, and I said, I'd rather drive a Fox body. I mean, a Mustang 2 than an S650. Sorry, Alex. Fox bodies are not fun to drive, but they're light and they're fast. Now, people are going to go, you're just a fuddy-duddy. You don't get it. You don't get with the times. Bitch, I had every generation Coyote. 1, 2, and 3. It's not that I am a fuddy-duddy and don't like the new stuff. It's the new stuff is slower than the old stuff. Remember 2010? Everyone saw this new redesign and holy shit, and it's a fucking 3-valve. And the next year, the car looked identical, right? So let's say you don't pay attention. Let's say you're the majority of Mustang owner that listens to late model, listens to American Muscle. And actually, 2 American Muscles benefit. Justin Dugan's a real fucking dude. He's like, yeah, that thing's slower than the last generation. Hi guys, this is Justin Dugan, and we're going to go ahead and take a car out. We're going to do some rippers, and we're going to see what it runs with the Dragon. We're going to do some 0 to 60 hits to see how it goes. Well, that sucked. This thing's slow. Let's try it again. That sucked too. Let's try the launch control at 3,000 RPM. Yep. Thanks for watching the video. This bitch is a dud. Real shit. I'm like, okay, but you watch everyone else, they go, well, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to shove some springs in it. Well, I can't wait to shove a set of niche tires in it, or niche wheels. Really? That's what we're at right now? Appearance packages? That's what we're at right now? You're trying to make it not tuning, not power, not performance? So why do I want anything to do with this car? GT350 is $60,000. They ain't marking them up. Get a GT350. Guys, it's not even a competition. A GT350 bone stock stick runs 11.9, 11.8. A dark horse is going to be in the 12s for $70,000 before markup? Boy, you smoking that fuck. You are smoking as much crack as Obama was when he was sucking dick in the limo. You heard about that, right? I heard about that. Shit was funny as shit. Guy's out there. That guy's out there. He got limo drivers bringing him gay dudes. Bro, with the amount of millennials crashing in the crowds, you can tell they've never driven a Fox. I paid $70,000 to get gapped by a Model 3 Performance. People were saying braking miles, driver mod. Braking miles, driver mod. 12. Okay, so you're telling me a GT that ran 12.3 with staying mode in it, with braking miles and colder air and 93 octane is going to gain 4/10 and go 11.9? What the previous generation ran stock in drag mode? Boy, I got a bridge to sell your stupid ass if you believe that. It is too heavy. It is underpowered. It makes more power than the previous generation, supposedly, but it doesn't perform as good. And it's proven. And people will go, oh, maybe this is a mistake. Maybe Steeder's car's a dud. Then late model, then TJ Pony Parts, then JPC, and then American Muscle, and then they're all the same. They're all the same. I love being right, but in this case, I do love it. It's fucking awesome. Because as a pundit, as a guy like me, I have to go out on a limb, and not knowing any information from Ford or any insider information, I have to guesstimate where they're going. And I've been accurate more than I've been inaccurate, but I'm okay going out on a limb and seeing, well, it's heavier, it's got a bunch of tech, and it only makes 20 more horse. It better weigh 3,800 pounds, and it didn't. And I said, this thing's a dud. Once I saw the 2 cold airs and the 2 throttle bodies, I go, they're coming into the same spot, son. This is an emissions thing. This isn't a power thing. I can't wait till some cuck-ass hoe tries to make it fit on his Gen 3 and Gen 2. And he's going to spend $2 $2,000 in hardware, wiring, all this splitter, MAF splitters and throttle body splitter cables and this and that. Put it on the dyno, and they're going to go, hey, Lund, it didn't make 1 more horsepower, or it made 10 more horsepower for $1,400, $1,500. I'm like, dude, you should have just shoved a 350 throttle body, a 350 cold air, vaya con Dios. And yes, the built Ford proud perked my ears up. I go, wait a minute. What's happening? Are you going woke? Yes, Ford went woke. And they don't care about power and performance anymore. They want to give you gimmicky stuff. Look, the Ranchero, is it a Ranchero? The Ranchero is coming out. The Capri might be coming out. And I don't know what the fuck that's going to be. It might be a shopping cart. I don't know what the hell the Capri is going to be if they're going to try to introduce it. They're supposedly going to reintroduce the Taurus back into play. That might be a skateboard. Like, I have no idea what Ford is doing anymore. Dark Horse is like the LS2 GTO. Heavy, slow, maybe a decent touring car. Should have called it the Drift Horse instead of the Dark Horse. Could them not doing the 5.2 concept be because they don't want to put Shelby parts on a lower package? The GT right now can outperform the Shelby similarly modded. Give me a 2020 Shelby GT500. Bam. Give it everything it's got. All the pulleys, all the fuel, all the shit. The DCT is the limiting factor. Do the same thing to a GT. Runs like an 880 or an 870. I've seen 10R80 Gen 3s run well into the 8s at max boost. Just dumb shit. Look at the Black Bean went 860s. So a fully built GT will outperform a fully built GT500. So that thought process doesn't make sense. But imagine if Ford said, we are giving you a 12-to-1 compression, 5.2 XS, forged motor, GT350 heads. But the problem is emissions, right? That's the problem. They have to... Now, Ford has to play in the government's sandbox. Whipple has to play in Ford's sandbox. They can't make their own sandbox and make it do what it does. That's what we do. That's what aftermarket tuners do. We take the car to its full potential. Anyone that's tied to CarBO stuff and government stuff and has the kiss of Ford has to play in the certain sandbox, unfortunately. Someone said Steeda didn't show their drag times because they knew it was a bust. I think they should show it. Steeda, late model, CJ, and American Muscle can all do something revolutionary. They can force Ford's hand. Imagine if American Muscle, late model, CJ all started saying, Ford, this is a loser. In order for us to really get after it and turn up the production lines and order parts totally not from China so they can fit on this car, we're going to need a better performing vehicle because nobody's buying them. We're stocking parts. How many Raxium headlights, how many splitters, how many canards, and how many louvers can you sell before you have to start selling performance parts that are tunable and make the car go faster? So if all those people get together and say, Ford, this is no good. We need a Bud Light revolution, but for Ford. The direction they're going sucks donkey nuts. The CEO should have his salary and his job based on performance. If the company has taken a nosedive since the CEO has been in place, why does he still have his job? Why aren't they listening? People are literally not buying Fords. So now you're going to see people say, I did pre-order the Mustang. I put $500 down. I ordered it online. Remember everyone was saying, oh, I got my pre-order in. And this is how I spec'd it. White with black and the Brembo and the carbon and da-da-da-da. Dealership goes, give us the fully refundable $1,000 deposit. We'll build it for you. And when it shows up, we'll do the paperwork. And then you start seeing Steeda's numbers. Start seeing American Muscle's numbers. You start seeing people dyno the car. You start seeing people go to the track and it runs 12.6, 1240s. Then you get a notification on your Ford app. Your car is ready at the dealership. And you're like, okay. Then the dealer, one of the salesmen calls you. Hello, can I speak with Alejandro here? Yeah? Hello, Miss Hart, we got you dark horse here. We're going to go ahead and deduct the $1,500 deposit you left, but there is a market adjustment of about $15,000, and we're going to need $90,000 to get this car released to you. Are you ready to come down? I want my money back. It runs 12.4. You want me to pick up a car that costs $70,000 sticker plus $15,000 market adjustment that I spec'd out in order to get gapped by a scat pack that did a slideshow yesterday? I'm good. I'm good. You can keep that motherfucker. So, is the Ford clientele, does the Ford clientele have the testicular fortitude to just say no to this S650 and force Ford's hand to make it better? Or just stick a Whipple in it and fuck it, right? That's all up to you. Maybe this show isn't that influential, but I'd like to think that I can put that seed into thought process in your brain to make you go, you're right, Alex. At the end of the day, I do race my car. And I don't want to get beat by Pookie. I don't want to get beat by cars. Imagine going up against a 300Z and get destroyed by it. Because your S650 is not tunable, it's heavy, and it only makes 480 horsepower. Come on. What's the best oil to run on a Coyote with the wet dash? Evan Smith, you nailed it. Draft horse. People saying that S650 needs a tire to make it a 0 to 60 time when all the other generations ran faster. Stock. Joe, good enough. VMP. VMP 2018 Mustang test. 11.8 stock. 11.8 stock. Bro, the people saying that the poor dynos of the S650 that keep saying it's not broken in are giving me brain damage. Welcome back to 2005, 2010 era. That's why I'm saying nobody said break in when the 18s were faster than 15 to 17. Break in? This isn't a 1975 Cadillac. That shit's broken in the moment you idle it, bro. It's done. Oh no, as you know what you're talking about. You're telling me it's going to loosen up and 30 horsepower is going to come out of nowhere? Fuck out of here. Nope, they're waving the blue flag. I'm telling you, this could, okay, because it's the last one, potentially, like what you're looking at right now, guys, if you look at the S650, that might be it, because they can carry that ugly ass body style 3 more years or 4 more years. And because look, the 350 did it from 2015, the 16 to 20, that's 4 years. So if supposedly 2028 is the last hurrah for V8 powered Mustangs, this is the last body style. Take a good look. This is it. There might be a refresh with a Cobra here and a Boss there and a GT500 there. And they're going to be, if the Dark Horse is 70, what's a Cobra going to be? If the Cobra's 150, what's the GT500 going to be? And if they don't make 1,000, I don't care. I don't care. If they make 800, I don't care. The ZR1's about to make 1,000, and you can make 900 wheel with a 21 GT. So, and $100,000+? I'm sorry, I'm not that excited. Maybe you're excited. Maybe you're like, oh, but Alex, it's the last one. It don't matter. Imagine that the last Dodge is better than the last Mustang. I don't care that the Mustang is still being made, but imagine that the Dodge went out as on top of the mountain, and the Mustang lingered behind, giving you a fatter, slower version of Mustang. How is that a good send-off? Fuck out of here. They're waving the rainbow flag. They're waving the Building Ford Proud flag. The second throttle body doesn't open until it's... The second throttle body does not open until it's broken in. Mercury Motorsports. Great work. I love it. Very, very good. He said the... Oh, good stuff. Here comes another 91-01 style. Dang, bro, you beat me in street race. Just wait till I put my 500 more miles on it, and the car will gap you for sure. Imagine what S650 guys are going to say for excuses. Oh, I still have 87 in the tank. It's not broken in properly. Just wait till I tune it. I'm gay. Like, those are the excuses S650 guys are going to have when they lose to scat packs with cords showing on their tires. They'll catch you with the gas guzzler gas too, exactly. I feel like my stock turbo ST on an E30 would run a new GT or dark horse. S650 owners hoping a shot of nitrous will save them. People saying it's the last muscle car of the big three, and it's sent out like that. Red Eye, 800 horsepower. A wide body Challenger Red Eye is a bad bitch. Maybe it's not a bad bitch on the street. Sticky tires, tunable. I've seen them run 9s at 4,200 pounds. This new Mustang needs like 550 horsepower at that weight to be decent. You have to pay for a subscription for the second throttle body to activate, just like Yamaha and their sport quad. They them mentality, slow as fuck. Working theory seems to be that they're trying to make ICE vehicles cover the losses they are incurring on every EV vehicle they lose on. I think you should have a soft boycott. I'm not saying a hard boycott because some of you really like the car, and good for you. If you want popping rev limiter, revving on a key fob and the drift stick and Fox body dashes, go for it. But if performance is the name of the game, a soft boycott would be good. I hope sales, because I'm sure that the bean counters did the dumbest, fuzziest math. They project. Well, Dodge is gone and Camaro's gone. So by 2025, we're going to have 100% of the market share. So that means if we sold 20,000 units last year and Dodge sold 20,000 and Camaro sold 10,000, we might sell 60,000 of these things. And then at the end of the year, when you see the sales and the quarterly report comes out and you're like, we sold less than the previous generation and there is no competition left. Dodge is gone. Camaro's gone. Not many people bought the Mustang. If you don't count Hertz Rent-A-Car. Where'd we go wrong? Everywhere. Power, weight, gimmicks. People just didn't buy it. So I guarantee there's those weird projections because you have to project sales for these vehicles to the board. So they go, okay, Dodge is gone. Camaro's gone. We don't got to worry about them. We're going to have 60,000 units sold in no time. Whereas the previous year, we sold 31,000 units. And then they sell 20. And people go, what happened? A soft boycott would be awesome. I'm not saying you should boycott them. I'm just saying if you want a lesser performing vehicle that is gimmicky and has a bunch of tech, vaya con Dios. That's your wheelhouse. The climate agenda, guys, this is what's going to destroy all the innovative thinking for true horsepower. I really think the previous models is as good as we'll get. 23 and under, because 23 now has the sauce. That doesn't mean you get a new tune. That just means that we have all available parameters for 23 and under. Would buying a Gen 4 Coyote Pistons for Gen 3 must stop? The average human, Mark Sinard, the average human says, hydrogen should be the way of the future. It's not. It's too hard to produce. Ford's already in the toilet with their Mach-E, 2 dealers full, sitting them, and they still have markups. And then they came out with a rally version. Like, imagine you're so disconnected with the audience that you said, well, the Mach-E sucks. What about if we make it a rally edition? People go, no. Like, no one likes it. Do you think people are going to just flock to a Mustang Mach-E rally edition? It has no heritage. It has no backup. It has no history. It's just throw some tires on the thing. It's weird. Dodge got Ford looking like Ricky from Boys in the Hood. I'm sorry I'm late. Just got back from the gym. Saw a post of a guy telling people he refused his 24 GT $68,000 and telling him to go get it. That's the guy I posted earlier. Dude, I work at Ford dealer. We got 2 S650s already, and the ball washing going on with the people there is insane. Doesn't matter how many times I share dyno results. It doesn't change. That's okay. The enthusiast that wants to go fast is just not going to buy this vehicle, and it'll hurt sales. Give it a week and we'll see gutted interior S650. It's already there. I already saw a guy gutting his S650, and I guarantee he's going to go, it performed the same as my old GT with a tune. A gutted S650 with a drag pack performs the same as an... Guys, do you know who the competition is for S650? The S550. Vaya con Dios, those things are tunable. Lighter. Good luck with that. Turiati says, just woke up from my nap. My Ford dealer local to me has about 50 Mach-E's sitting on the lot. Hey, they made a Mach-E Shelby, so there's that. Is the Mach-E faster than the Dark Horse? Genuine question. 0 to 60? Yes. On the street? On the street. 0 to 60, the Mach-E GT will fuck up a Dark Horse till about the 8th mile. Then after that, I'm hoping the Dark Horse beats it. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Nice, quick, in and out, 1 hour. Again, we talked about people refusing to pick up their GTs, S650s, because the dealer gets their hands on it and marks it up, or the performance is starting to show up everywhere. The lack of performance is being seen by people online, and they're second guessing picking up their overpriced, heavier Mustang. So we'll talk about more of that on Sunday. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. Maybe some people will get to the track and validate more numbers, gutted cars. We'll see what happens, and we'll talk about it on Sunday morning on the Peasant Chat. Thanks for hanging in here for a little bit. We'll talk again on Sunday. We'll see what happens between now and then. Have a good rest of your night. See you guys later. Bye.